Or not even live yet. It's dumb. All right. Minute to win it. Who can I put on the spot to do this thing? Sam?
Oh, okay. Well, minute to win it. I would like to talk about. Can I get real nerdy?
Ooh, let's go.
Okay. I would like to talk about my favorite author from 1909 to 1930.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to talk about Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Okay.
Edgar Rice Burroughs as well. His most known book is stories is Tarzan, and he also has the John Carter of Mars series. And then there's like 10 other ones because the dude wrote books like We Breathe. And I fell down an absolute rabbit hole this past 2 years where I just been reading all the Tarzan books to the point where like anytime they're like the dude in the jungle comes around, I have to buy the book. Like anytime there's a comic book or anything like that. And I'm 5 books in and there's like 27 of them. And my challenge to myself is I'm gonna read every one of them. And I'm gonna read all the John Carter of Mars books and all the ones where it's the adventures are inside Earth. There's ones where they're on Venus,
Mm.
and there's like ones about boxers, gladiators, and everything. It's like every like swashbuckling like square jawed hero story you ever expected, and like they like parody nowadays. He wrote all those stories, and they're very dated nowadays. Don't go in there thinking you're gonna get the same type of stories like you're gonna get these days, but they're very fun. Like a lot of shipwrecks and a lot of cool fights. Like how many times this man fights a lion, it's awesome.
Hmm.
So if you want to go take a deep dive into something that is not comic books, go take it. Go into old Edgar Rice Burroughs stories because a lot of them are in public domain. You can just listen to them for free on YouTube and stuff
Oh, that's
if
cool.
you don't like to read them. I encourage anybody who's even listening to give them a shot. And there recently was a Lord of the Jungle series that came out and just finished up, I think, that you can check out. That is just more, stories about Tarzan, which I'm very much for. So
Yeah.
if you want any recommendation that is not comic books but also is comic books, Edgar Rice Burroughs books, check them out. I love them.
Very
You'll
nice.
never run out. There's too many of them.
Woo. All right. That is probably the most epic minute to win it I think we've had in a while. I feel. Bravo. That was
Thank you.
a minute to 3 win it thing. That was awesome. Good work. I'm proud of you. All right. Well, we're going to open the show, you guys, and get rocking and rolling. So, without further ado, the best drum roll a glass desk can handle. Hey, everybody. It's a comic book look. It's your boy, John on Demand, a.k.a. looking so secretarial tonight. Hair slicked back, looking fine. Joined, of course, by co-host extraordinaire, brother from another mother, great from another state. Mark, a.k.a. the begging and boarding bad boy, is in the building. Didn't I just say we were going to do another AKA? What was it? We were talking about this before we went live, and I was like, I need to throw that in your AKA. Aquaman, punching
There it
sharks
is.
in the teeth. That's right, punching sharks in the teeth. And of course, you guys, new hot rod on the comic book lot. Sam is in the building. @Noleman12 on the TikToks for those fun reviews. And we are a comic book look proudly sponsored by Rainbow Comics. So if you are in the Sioux Falls area, stop by and say howdy to the team. 42nd Minnesota Avenue, preferably Wednesday through Saturday, so you can see your boys, rather. Sam has the same schedule as me. And then if you're in Lincoln, Nebraska, stop by and say hi to the team down there as well. Happy to help you with your comic book needs. So, first and foremost, how the heck are you guys?
Doing good. Doing good.
Boom. And it's Comic Book Sabbath. Crazy week on the wall. When I walked in, I was like, oh, this isn't going to be good. Mark, how was New Comic Book Day out in your neck of the woods?
Tons of books dropping today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, no, I got into some trouble today, and we'll be chopping that up. At the shop, I lifted this up earlier on Rainbow Live, but again, I just wanted to put a plug in. Shout out to the 605 Pop Culture Con again for a successful event. It just was really fun to see like just really cool guests coming in, and seeing the excitement of the customer is what we like to see at the shop. And we had presence at the con. We tabled out there and did pretty well, which was exciting too. So we just wanted to again thank you to the 605 Pop Culture team for throwing a successful event, and shout out to Voices Against Cancer for really founding that and running it. So yeah, that was awesome. On the horizon, we have SuperCon coming up in late September, early October. So that is coming up here pretty quick in our world. So we'll probably start getting our list together of what we're going to take for that table, and we'll be rocking and rolling out there too. So cool. Tonight, we don't have a real steep itinerary, but we do have a lot of books to talk about. So I think we're going to be lifting up 4 issues each that we got, as well as maybe something old. And there might be a little mix in there too. Some of us might have some other old back issues to bring up too, but it's going to be a true roulette thing tonight. We wanted to highlight some things, and so we're going to go ahead and do that. So Sam, I'm going to throw it over to you. What is your first book of the night?
My first pick is going to be the one that just came out this like today, I guess. It's going to be Silk number 3. First off, I'm loving these Silk covers. Why don't more covers look like this? Or just like be so like fun.
Yeah.
It's like it's Silk and a pirate ship, and like I don't know who thought that was a cool idea, but I want to buy them a drink because that is a fantastic idea. Basically, the run on Silk right now is that she is stuck in dreams from one of her bad guys. So weirdly, how this is also going on with Night Terrors, a lot of dream stuff going on.
Yeah.
And
everyone's sleeping on the job.
Yeah, everybody, yeah, quite literally. And she keeps shifting from one dream to the next when she realizes, oh, hey, I'm dreaming. And she fights what is called a sleep demon throughout these. And the previous issues were her in a Western and her in like a noir detective story.
Yep.
And it's just been really fun. Like I haven't read Silk since probably the original Spider-Verse. So it's been a minute.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? These are really cool looking. I'm going to pick it up. It's just a fun little action thing that it entertains. It's just like watching a very simple but fun action movie in the theaters. And there's Wong in this issue. If for the Doctor Strange fans out there, I just had a really good time with it. It's a pretty fast read. Yeah. So just be prepared for a guy who's very slow at reading.
Buckle up.
I read it in under 5 minutes. That's that you can tell it's a fast read.
Oh no! Yeah.
But it's fun. It's about the action and the art, because the art is. Let me get you a good page here. The art is very fun.
Oh, cool.
Like, look, she's got a saber. It's like, what's not to like about that? Like, so that Silk number 3 just came out. There's I think there's a few more at Rainbow, so you can feel free to go pick them up.
Yep.
I would love to get more eyes on that series.
Heck yeah. And you know what? Shout out to Silk as a character too. I met her through that new Agents of Atlas run. And I thought that was a lot of fun. And then I did pick up like the original Silk number 1 just because I was curious about. She was around the same time Peter Parker was, and it was cool. But yeah, seeing her in new Agents of Atlas really took a shine to that character for that too. First comment of the night here, Mr. Derek's checking in. I haven't seen you in a forever, Mister, and I still love that profile picture. So, yo, what up, everyone? What up to you? And thank you for tuning in tonight. Awesome. Well, great pick, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Lord Shelton, what do you got?
I got Immortal Ascension. This is issue number 1. Really fat issue. I think this is only going to be a 2-issue series, but this was basically like a trade right here. But really cool. It's if you can see that cover, it's very much like a 90s beat 'em up game like Double Dragon or Final Fight. It's kind of in that same vein.
I'm already in it.
What's up, man?
I'm already in it. If you those games, I'm already in it. Let's go.
You're slinging books, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, but heck yeah, dude. Like, she's like she gets murdered in cold blood, like in our world, and then like in the afterlife, spirits can like fight each other, and she ends up becoming a god, and she fights other gods and kills all the gods. And then they can always come back and be rebirthed. So she comes back to Earth to try to hide from them. And then she like has a dojo and she's a sensei. And then those students get captured by this ghoul gang, so she's like trying to survive the gods coming back to kill her on Earth, and she's trying to fight for her kids in her dojo as well. So really cool book.
Dude, heck yeah. That sounds
That's
like
a lot of backstory for a character.
Like I said,
Yeah.
it's a thick issue. That's probably about 2 or 3.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, that's like
Wow.
Kratos, but more.
Yeah,
Oh man.
but it was good.
All right. Well, my first pick is also technically indie, but I'm so freaking pumped about this. And I think that I need to get. I think I have issue 2, but I have to double check because I've only read issue 1 and I loved it. But I love the person behind this. All right. So this is The Curse of Cleaver County, Part 3. I love Garrett Gunn. I got to see him in Denver. He came out to Sioux Falls. I got to see him here as well. And so it's just so funny. He's such a good human being. And I like to vote with my dollars. And when I can do it for someone that is in my life and in my world, I'm there. I'm there. So I support the heck out of this book. And I'm so excited to read it. Plus, it's in the vein of all things spooky. So double win for me. So I will definitely have to post a review once I have a chance to crush it. So. All right, Mr. Sam.
Oh, it's me again. Wow. I was just waiting patiently for
Oh,
the
you're
next
good.
person. I was
You're
like,
so
oh, my turn.
polite.
Yes, my
So
bad.
polite.
Let's go with this one. So the next one I have is Noctera, Nemesis Special. Have either of you been reading this?
I
This
fell
came out
off
last
of the
week.
I
series.
fell off of it too.
This book, I think I've been reading, like Noctera's been coming out for like 2 years, I think now.
Yeah.
And I've been consistently reading it. But like I was kind of getting to the point where I was like, are we about done with this series, guys? But then this, like the Nemesis Special comes out and they're like, we want to make sure you get every issue after this. And they did it because this, like, I don't know about you guys, but it's hard for me to watch horror movies a lot of times, but I can read horror
Yeah.
very easily.
Yeah.
And this actually kind of scared me. It's all like it has like these eldritch beings that like why the. I should probably explain what Noctera is, I guess. Basically, the world is forever in night now, and if you spend too much time outside without any like light hitting you, you start turning into what is called a shade, which is like this weird like brainless like shadow creature. And it's a very cool process. And this trucker gang of people, they're the only one. They're our heroes, and they're trying to figure out why this all happened. And this issue basically kind of tells you why the big PM, as it's called, happened, and why you should like the characters should just give up, because it's just like oh God. Some of the art, I'm gonna show you a few of them. Let me see if I can find a good one here. The normal of the art is not like this.
Ooh, okay.
So like the normal art is not like this, but this in particular was like, I want
So
you to
Tony
praise
Daniel?
him. Yeah, well, like
Yeah.
Tony Daniel is usually in this,
Okay.
but not this issue.
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay.
This is like who is this? Liam Sharp?
Okay.
Yeah. Tony Daniel wrote it with Scott Snyder,
Mhm.
but we'll get one more. Yeah. It's just like
It's really pretty colors on that
It's
page
like-
on the
it's
right and the
beautifully-
left.
Like
Wow.
painting.
It's beautifully horrific. Is if I can put any words into it, and I go of like just like, I don't know, man. I think they got you. I don't know if the light's coming back, guys. I just and like the book, like the main character in it is going off and saying, "Hey, we got to keep fighting," but the bad guy's like, "Why are you fighting? You know you're going to give up here. You know it. It's going to happen." And as the reader, I go and say, well, the main character's got much more willpower, because what he's going through there, the things the bad guy is showing him here, I would not be able to, like, I would be like, well, we're forever in the dark, guys. Sorry. I tried. Because that actually was a scary issue. I haven't been scared from an issue in a while. And that did it.
Also,
a comic book can scare you.
yeah. I was gonna say too, I think that would be an amazing show to do in October. So we're totally jotting that down.
Mhm.
Comics that scare you. We have time to think about this, boys. All right. Why did I just literally write side question? Oh my god. show idea. All right, Mark, what you got?
Oh man, from Scout Comics, I got Space Outlaws. This is issue number 1. Going to be a 3-part story. This like alien being has broken out of space jail and it has came to Earth trying to escape the law, and meets this man here on Earth who's like really down on his luck. His wife has left him. He's been picking up the bottle really hard, abandoning his faith and everything. And what I really loved about this book though is just how creative the artwork is. Like, that's one thing I love about comics. Like, if you're gonna do a comic book, make
That's
it
cool.
yeah, like doing stuff like that. That's what comics are all about, is just make it bizarre, make it cool, make it creative, make it different. And that's what this was. So
Heck yeah.
highly respect this. Really well worth your money.
Dude, heck yeah. All right.
Kind of reminds me of that. Do you remember the book series American Flag?
Vaguely, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody's out there who's read American Flag, I think that might be similar to that. Then
Was that a
Is that-
character who basically dressed up as
I
beyond Captain America? He was
No,
like
he's-
an American flag.
no, he's more of like a space pirate-esque character. It's been a long time since I've even like perceived American Flag as a thing, but it's basically just a guy who's in like a fascistic future,
Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to not be in that anymore. He's a freedom fighter, and the creator of it has gone on to say like he never liked drawing superheroes. He liked drawing big-chested dudes with big guns and sexy ladies, and that's all that book is.
Yeah.
But just from that photo, it just kind of reminded me of American Flag.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Well, I don't know how I can follow those. I'll do my worst. I'm really excited about it, and it's a DC book, which is not very common for me. But we have a one-shot that dropped, so Poison Ivy uncovered. I did go a little nutso, including the foil with my variant. But I'm freaking excited. Also, whoever made this header for Poison Ivy, give them a raise, DC, for real. I love like little leaves and the swag. It's so distinct, and that's what I look for with branding. Like even with the comic book we're working on, we had our logo professionally made, just because it's so important to have a consistent thing, and so I just really appreciate that in itself, and it's consistent with the ongoing. So dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I don't know anything about the book yet, so I can't speak for it, but I did flip through it and the artwork looks fantastic. So
Mhm.
very, very excited to check that out. And that'll be probably a crush here in the next couple of days just to get it read. So, all right, Mr. Sam.
Let's go with. I'm gonna save that one for last because it's the most out there one, I think. I'm gonna do Moon Knight, City of the Dead. Now, I might be a bit of a DC junkie, I suppose. I accept this about myself. But I do love Moon Knight. He's unequivocally one of my favorite characters at Marvel, and it's a really good time to be a Moon Knight fan, frankly. Yeah. They got 2 books coming out for him. And this one, it just dropped, and it's a more fun Moon Knight. It's like what I enjoy about it personally, that it's like not just kind of forgetting that the other series is a thing. It's going off it, but also not like, but also doing its own thing. So like there's Hunter's Moon is there, and like his Midnight Mission is still around. But this one's all about like someone in his care is hurt and dying. And Mark's got to go. He's got to go to the City of the Dead and go find his soul. And I think what god is the one who has the kid's soul? I think it's Bast. I'm not super well in tune to the Egyptian mythology. I apologize, but like it has his soul, and he's planning on doing a little like a spell or something. And Mark is there, kind of ruining it for everybody, and it's really fun because it just kind of shows you how brutal Moon Knight is. And how unafraid he is to just kind of go like, yeah, I'm probably not going to kill you, but I'll make sure you don't walk. And just that's the kind of brutality of like Moon Knight that kind of goes like, he's not just Batman. And like he's also like, he's just a very interesting character that probably wouldn't want to know him personally, because if you know Moon Knight, your life's gonna go down the toilet. Because that's usually how it goes from people who know Moon Knight. But very fun character to read, I would say.
Heck yeah. Derek was weighing in here just saying Moon Knight greater than Batman. It's a hot statement. It's a hot take.
That is a hot take.
How do you feel about that, Sam?
Can't I have both?
No. According to
No?
no. This isn't wrong. I like this.
The Moon Knight book is currently better than the Batman book.
There you
That's
go.
what I can
Boom.
tell you.
All right. Mark, from your awareness of both characters, is the statement accurate?
I'm more partial to Batman, but I think Moon Knight's really cool. But if I was like, someone was like, you can either read Moon Knight for the rest of your life or you can only read Batman for the rest of your life, you have to choose one, I would go
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
go Pat.
Well, I mean, and that's probably I would choose Batman too, though, only because of the amount of
Well,
literature,
Yeah.
right? Because if you
You're
can
not
only
gonna
read
run
one
out.
book for the rest of your life, I would rather memorize the 1,050 issues of Detective like the back of my hand
Yeah.
first, and go from there. Sleepy Reader is checking in with us here through YouTube. Happy Comic Book Day and happy Comic Book Day to you as well. It has definitely been just a rip-roaring day today. Sam and I were just talking about that before we went live, and we were like, "Ugh." So it was hopping today, and yeah, the wall is definitely hopping. So excellent pick, Sam.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Mark, what you got?
Oh man, I'm just really still digging Night Terrors. This is issue number 2. Gonna be 4 issues for the main series, and then they're just Insomniac still looking for that Nightmare Stone, and you got Sandman, and of course you got Deadman being Batman, possessing him, and it's just really been a super solid comic from art and story. And we can't always say that about events, but I think DC is just really killing it right now with this. Really good.
Ooh.
It's just really fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun series.
Yeah.
100%.
And every book's a little different, which is nice. It's not just literally like Insomnia going up to you and going like, "Hey, what's your worst fear?"
Yeah.
It's like everyone's a little bit of a different one, which I like about it. And bringing back Wesley Dodds,
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's go.
I love how, minor spoiler, nothing like storyline, but how Insomniac will pop up in each tie-in. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that, but I'll do my best here. So I love me some Night Terrors as well, evidently, because they did blacklight covers, and I'm so excited about this. So this is literally the same book that Mark just highlighted. I will read them, of course, and then they're going to live in the spinny rack right over there. So that way when I flip my blacklight on, it's going to be like, boom, and have a lot of color going on. So I'm really excited about that. But thank you, DC, for doing these covers and for also just making the back also reactants to blacklight as well. So I will be lighting these up in our Facebook group, A Comic Book Look. So if you want to see the pictures of what they look like under the glow, definitely check them out because they're going to be vibrant, I bet. So, all right, over to you, Mr. Sam.
So I saved the best for last, to me at least, because this book is probably, I guess the reason I liked it so much, I'm going to do a little preamble for you guys, is because I was reading it. I bought it in Maine, and I was reading it on and waiting for planes that I had. Like, I was way too early for my flight, so I had like 3 hours to burn in an airport. So I picked the fattest book I could, so I could just read the entirety of it. And I picked something that I never would have expected to read otherwise, but it's really good. And Mark, I hope you've read this, because I think you'd love it. Black Hole. You ever heard of that?
Familiar.
Black Hole is done by Charles Burns. It is a very it's a teenage growing up story about this little town that has this virus, I guess, where if kids do what teenagers do, they succumb to a random mutation of some kind, and some people can hide it, some people can't, kind of like mutants, and the ones who can't have to stay in the woods and just live in the woods for the rest of their lives. And it's just all about teenage angst and what's it like to live in maybe the 60s. I think it's really well done, and the art's the best part, and I can tell you why, because it's all done in ink. There's no pencil, there's nothing else. It's just ink. Now I have to make sure I'm flipping to a page that I can show. Yeah, this is one I can do.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's all this like very like rhythmic like black ink in it, and that's all that is to the story. And it's just like remember, it's really well done, and it's about runaway kids who don't really have a place otherwise, and they're trying to find like peace with bad decisions they made, and like the weirdness with this weird virus that happens, and you having to accept this new reality for yourself. It's just, and coming from a man who thought he was moving to Maine, reading that was a bit of a trip. So you know what? I just really liked it, and more people, frankly, need to read this because it's just the art is beautiful, and I think it really makes you think. And Mark, I think you would personally really enjoy this.
I
Honestly,
appreciate that. I
Yeah.
think I remember when that came out. I've never read it, but I think I do remember that cover though.
Mhm.
Does it say what year that came out?
It's one of those books that took like ages to fully finish.
Uh-huh.
It would like the first 4 issues came out in a certain period of time, and then after that, it took like the last issue long time.
Yeah.
This particular one was published in 2008, I believe,
Uh-huh.
but it looks like it's been published. It was like in the 90s. This is like a 90s book, if
Cool.
anything.
That's cool.
But I love it. It reads like it feels long, but when you're reading it, but you just kind of like fully immerse into it, like you're kind of diving in that pool of black ink.
Yeah.
Very cool story. I loved it. I probably will make a chance to read this every year.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
That's
Mhm.
awesome. Well, Sleepy Reader's right with you. Black Hole, dark
See, they get it.
masterpiece, followed by a top indie comic staple.
Mm-hmm.
So very big kudos.
Sleepy
there.
knows.
Yeah. Way to go, Sleepy. Oh man, that's awesome, dude. Excellent pick. Wow.
Mhm.
All right, Mark, you get to follow that.
From Marvel. No, this is a good. Incredible Hulk issue number 2. Just like how the Night Terrors is like superheroes and horror. That's really what this book has been doing so far. Only issue number 2, but been really good. This was a super just creepy issue, and I really dug it. Love the way it ends. But I highly recommend this. I'm definitely on for the ride for this. I don't know how many issues this will go, but
yeah,
definitely in it.
It's interesting. I just snagged issues 1 and 2. They're in my pull box for a future week. That's maybe a little lighter because this was a tidal wave this week.
Yeah.
But I actually completely agree with that. I had so many customers asking me, why aren't you reading this? Like, this is totally in your vein. And I'm like, oh, okay. So
Yeah.
based on customer recommendation, I am definitely checking that out when finances permits. So
Is it similar to Immortal Hulk?
Yes. I feel like what they did, I don't know if they just scrapped what Donny Cates did with Hulk, but it seems like this is just coming right off of Immortal Hulk. And they just kind of forgot about what Donny Cates did with the spaceship Hulk, and which I didn't hate, but Immortal Hulk was Immortal Hulk was definitely going to be hard to follow.
Yeah.
You could follow that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. So him just doing something completely different, I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
So do they do like Green Door stuff still, or do they
Hasn't gotten to that point yet.
Oh, okay.
It could, but yeah, it hasn't gotten that deep yet.
Bruce Banner's just another one of those characters. Like, don't be around him. It's not going to end well for you. Don't do it.
Yeah.
The last of my 4 that I wanted to highlight is from Marvel, and I actually went with a variant on this one. This is the X-Men Hellfire Gala Dazzler variant. I saw one of our box holders posted a review of this already saying, holy smokes, this is quite the read, which I'm looking forward to. But the catch is that I have about 2 months of X titles to catch up on first, so I can really maximize that impact. So I got a little bit of work ahead of me, but I hope to get that accomplished here, because I always go through those phases with X-Men where I'm behind a couple months and then I crush it in a couple days and then do it all over again. So yeah, that is my last of the new stuff. I had one more I wanted to lift up. Did you guys still have one more?
I just wanted to comment on that Hellfire Gala. I haven't read it yet, but I did hear that that's like just a huge, it's not a fluff issue. I hear like a lot of stuff happens in that issue.
Yeah. Oh, I'm freaking.
I am intrigued because there's a lot of like, wait, what are you doing moments with that? Like, I'm not 100% what's going on with the Tony Stark and Emma Frost thing.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on with
Just know
that.
from
Like,
the covers. Aren't they married now? Maybe.
Oh,
I
it's
think
coming
so.
up. It's coming up,
Okay.
and I definitely want those covers because her gown looks amazing. So I
Just a
am
very odd pairing. Just
well, and I
blew my
think
mind.
that there was a little bit of crossover earlier where it was like a favor from Emma Frost, although I think that was a Captain America book. But this latest issue of Iron Man, I believe, had a Sentinel boasting Stark Tech on it, and so I think that that's how it's going to be kind of blended together, is maybe something like that. But I don't know because I haven't been reading Iron Man, so and I'm behind on my X-Men, so yeah.
No.
But more to come on that. All right, Sam, you said you did not have an extra book.
I did not know.
Okay, Mark, do you have an extra book?
Oh, this came out last week, but I just wanted to lift it up. This is Scrapper issue number 1. I don't remember everything exactly that happened from it, but what I remember, like reading it last week, I remember it was very much felt like coming home from school and watching like afternoon cartoons. Like this would have came on in the same block with like a Gargoyles or Batman the Animated Series. It really had that same feeling of just like a cartoon where dogs fighting robots, and it was just very futuristic, and it was really fun. I'd have to flip back through it to jog my memory exactly, but it was a good read though. I just wanted to lift it up.
Dude, heck yeah. No, that's awesome. I was eyeballing that one too, because we live in a age of dog comics. You got your Stray Dogs, your Good Boy,
Striking amount of dog comics, yeah.
and they all do well,
Yeah.
So I kept looking at it like I should probably check that out just because I'm curious more than
It was good.
anything. Yeah. The last book I wanted to lift up, and this is a really interesting story. We had this collection come in, so we buy collections of comics at the store, and this is issue 2. This is Dracula, the Company of Monsters, and I saw on the top left my boy Kurt Busiek is on the 1s and 2s for writing, and I was like, the writer of Thunderbolts, and it's about Dracula. Tell me more. And so I went out to our back stock, and this is issue 2 that came in the collection, right? We had issues 1 space 3 through 10 out in back stock, and then issue 2 just rounded it out. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. I texted my manager right away and said, hey, can I get this issue that just came in for the same price as all the other ones? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And so I am so excited to just binge this and crush it. But I love that Kurt is involved with this, and I'm probably gonna send him a tweet and just be like, I might be a bad person for just discovering this now. This is a 2010 book, I believe, and so naughty and shame on me, but also so excited to read it. So
The book was made specifically for you.
you will find this 13 years later, and
Yes,
you will love it. Yeah, no, I'm really excited to check it out though, and it's so fun to be excited as much about backstock finds as it is about new stuff. I always enjoyed that too. That's one of the beauty things of comics is just because it has a year on it doesn't mean it's not good. So in terms of being older, yeah. Any other books that you guys wanted to bring up? No.
I remember since you brought up the idea of backstock books, I remember Dynamite came out with did a run not so long ago. I hope not so long ago because I think it was like 2010, 2009. Don't quote me on it. On The Shadow, and I just, like I said, I fall down the rabbit hole of these weird pulpy characters, and there is a Dynamite run which feels exactly like the type of story that would have been made in those little pulp novels, and it's at Rainbow. You can get it now. I really enjoyed it because it really kind of shows you how weirdly mystic the Shadow is, but also how much of he's just a very street level hero.
Yeah,
like his ring can make you kind of like believe something, and he I don't know what it is with me and like characters who are like men in trench coats and fedoras who fight crime, but I love them. And that's a very good backstock one that we do have at Rainbow. So I recommend that too.
Yeah, heck yeah. It's so crazy, like we just are around this backstock library, and there's just so much cool stuff in there. For everyone that's watching this live or on the replay, if you guys have any other series that you just want to lift up that are just wow pieces from this week or previous, throw them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Before I shut it down, was there anything else that you guys wanted to lift up in general? We're all chill? Sam?
Nothing right now. No.
All
Looking
right.
forward to the Meg too, the movie. I think it comes out next week.
That's cool.
What is it?
The Meg, Megalodon.
Oh, the Meg 2.
Yeah.
I've heard. I haven't seen the first one, so I might have to see the
good.
first one first before I see it.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I've only seen like a scene where Jason Statham is shirtless and like his ex-wife comes in and goes like, "Oh no."
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah,
of
like that. That's the only part I've seen so far of that movie.
That's
It's good.
awesome.
But yeah,
I
giant shark movie. Who can't be excited about that?
Wow.
You know.
Heck yeah.
I did jot down the show idea though, you guys. Comics that have scared you. So start brainstorming
Oh,
on
yeah.
that because October is gonna be spicy. It'll be fun. Ooh. Well, I guess I'll shut it down then. Thank you guys so much, everyone that tuned in tonight, and thank you for everyone that's jumped in the comments. It's so good to hear from you guys, and we just appreciate that input. And definitely don't be a stranger. Send us a note, a comicbooklook@gmail.com. Join our Facebook group, A Comic Book Look. We'd love to continue the conversation there. And like I said, if you're in town, Sioux Falls, stop by Rainbow Comics, 42nd Minnesota. Say howdy to Sam and I, preferably Wednesday through Saturday, so you get us. And we would definitely love to say howdy. And yeah, we hear from people too that have watched the show. Like, hey, I saw you on the show. It's so fun. So it's nice to make a local impact and just to connect with people across the country, if not world. So that's kind of fun. But we'll go ahead and shut it down and probably do some reading tonight. I'm suspecting here. Mark, your dojo is looking great as always.
You guys have such nice setups. Like I have no way I could like film where my mural is there.
Oh, do a
Yeah.
new mural. Take over this wall behind you. Just do a wall wide one. You got this.
That I don't have enough books for that.
Do posters. Throw them in a frame. Easy.
There we go. There we go.
Boom. I got you. But yes, we are Comic Book Look, proudly sponsored by Rainbow Comics, 42nd Minnesota, and of course we can't forget our team down in Lincoln. So until next time, I always say keep it comics, but then Mark says
Backing and boarding's never boring.
boom, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much, and have a